Hello and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech. My name is Amata. Today is the 16th of March and this time I'm bringing you some rather unfortunate news for anybody who is a fan of LEGO The Hobbit. As well, the story of that game is apparently going to remain unresolved as the publisher Warner Brothers are not planning on releasing a DLC expansion based on the final installment of the trilogy, that being of course the Battle of Five Armies. So yeah, I bet some of you are scratching your heads and wondering, well, why? This is really weird. You're basically leaving a game with no ending if you're not having the Battle of the Five Armies included. And Warner Brothers had this to say, quote, "The LEGO The Hobbit video game gives LEGO and Middle-earth fans a fun new way to experience the legendary adventures of Bilbo and company as told in the first two films of Peter Jackson's The Hobbit trilogy. The game provides an excellent setup for the concluding chapter of Peter Jackson's film, The Hobbit: The Battle of Five Armies. There are no plans to develop DLC based on the final film of the trilogy." Now that's weird enough, but the plot is still thickening, bear with me. So basically, when the LEGO Hobbit game came out in late 2013, it of course followed the events and characters of the two first films, that being Unexpected Journey and Desolation of Smaug. Then, earlier last year it was reported that, well, they were planning on releasing content based on the third film as DLC before Christmas of 2014. Of course, the Battle of Five Armies came out in December of last year. Now, Warner Brothers had remained largely quiet, basically just telling us to stay tuned and wait for more news. So now it seems really strange that all of a sudden, after obviously Christmas has been and gone, there's still no sign of the DLC, and now we're not getting it at all, which is just really weird, and they haven't really explained why, unfortunately. Perhaps a licensing problem, but I don't see why they would have the license for the first two and not the third one, especially if they had plans to make it in the first place. I just don't understand. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, could it be the sales figures? And yes, it definitely could be. I'm looking at the chart track results for the week that it came out, and well, it didn't do all that well. Now, there's no yardstick on this particular chart to judge it by like how well it did in comparison to previous LEGO games, but it doesn't seem to have entered that strongly and doesn't seem to have sold all that well at all. Now, what probably didn't help is that, well, there was not really that much of a gap between the last three games, and well, it's a bit unclear as to why the LEGO Hobbit was released so soon after the LEGO movie game, which was still in the top 10 when the new game actually came out, which is just kind of crazy when you think about it. On the UK All Formats chart for the 12th of April, we've got LEGO The Hobbit at number 2, and then LEGO The Movie video game at number 7, and then the individual formats chart, LEGO The Hobbit is at number 5, and the other one isn't on there, but for the all formats chart it is still there, which is just really weird. So maybe it was just a case of it didn't sell that well, and well, the market was a little bit oversaturated with LEGO games. People were still buying the old game when the new one came out, so it just sounds like it didn't sell well enough, and now basically the game is going to remain unfinished, which sucks a lot. I'm not a personal fan of the LEGO games. I don't really like them, to be honest. I tried the LEGO Lord of the Rings and didn't really like it, to be honest. But I'm obviously not a real huge Lord of the Rings fan, so that probably didn't help either. I like the films, and I have books are on my list. Got a very long list of books, trust me. But I just wasn't really keen of the game, but obviously many people are, and they're probably going to be very disappointed by this. So basically, if you haven't already bought it, you might want to not bother. Anyway, that's me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.